Hey y'all, I'm Donita and welcome to my channel where I discuss screenwriting tips and tricks on how to enter in the industry. A little bit about me, I am a development exec at Screencraft where I help launch writers' careers and connect them to execs in the industry. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips on what I give my writers on combating against imposter syndrome. So let's get into it. Okay, so tip number 1, you definitely want to be honest with yourself and distinguish your fears, weaknesses, and your strengths. If you're not totally honest with yourself, then you won't know how to really combat against this imposter syndrome. You'll probably end up trying to be someone else or trying to mimic someone else's career trajectory. So you definitely want to be honest with yourself and figure out, why do I feel this way? What are my weaknesses? What am I struggling with? A tip that I always give my writers at Screencraft is to really write down your goals and figure out, okay, where am I struggling with this, or what are the weaknesses that come up? Is it stemming from like your writing? Is it stemming from you figuring out what ideas to write about? Or is it stemming from you just figuring out how to navigate through the business? Once you figure out where your weaknesses are stemming from, then you kind of figure out, maybe this is why I'm scared. Maybe this is where the fear is coming from. Usually it's just our internal fear and it's not even something that's real. And then you have to be honest about your strengths. Really believe in yourself. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have like great screenwriting ideas, but you have to be honest with what in your portfolio is stronger. Do you have a stronger sample that's performing well in competitions or performing well against like your mentors? They're telling you that this one sounds better than this thing. If you establish what your strengths are, and some people, your strengths might be just ideating an idea, and then you want to start figuring out how to screenwrite. You go through the process. But if your strength is ideating an idea, you want to definitely emphasize off of that and figure out how can you really hone in on this skill that you already have. And definitely advocate for yourself within your strengths. That's where your confidence will come from. Once you know your strengths, you'll be confident, you'll work off of those strengths, and then it'll help you to strive. Tip number 2. I feel like this is kind of like the most important tip, is you really want to know your worth. And this kind of stems down from your strengths. What I was talking in the last tip is you got to know your worth and you got to track and measure your successes. A success can look different for anyone. A success could be you finishing an outline or you finishing your beat sheet. You definitely want to track and measure that and really champion for yourself that you're finishing certain things, you're accomplishing certain things, but you definitely want to track and measure those successes because that only builds your confidence. No one can advocate for you more than yourself. So definitely advocate for yourself. Support yourself, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, and know that every success, no matter the measure, no matter how big or small, is still a success at the end of the day, and that only just strengthens your worth. So definitely track and measure your success, keep a running track of that, and figure out how can you make those successes bigger. What else can you work on? And then you'll just make yourself stronger and stronger. Tip number 3, and the final tip, is betting on yourself and not being afraid to say yes to new opportunities. Being afraid of new opportunities will kind of hinder your success and hinder your growth. So don't be afraid to bet on yourself, and know that if a new opportunity comes up, if you are kind of afraid, just know that you'll learn. You'll learn on the job. You'll learn while you get it. You'll learn along the way. And that's the point of taking new opportunities, so that you strengthen yourself, you grow, and you get to know really how strong you are. So just kind of ignore that little voice in your head. That's the imposters speaking when they're like, I can't do this, I'm not ready. you just want to ignore that little voice in your head that's telling you, say no, say no. You want to say yes to new opportunities and bet on yourself and take those risks. And then when you do get those opportunities that come up, just know that you belong there. You belong in that room. The opportunity wouldn't come if it wasn't for you. So take whatever is for you and know that you're supposed to be there, you know, and it's just going to make you grow. Just grow into it, lean into that fear and change it into a success. It's there for you, and just don't be afraid. All right, guys, those were my 3 tips on how to combat against imposter syndrome. I hope that helped you, and if it did, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube, and I will be sure to be back to give you guys more tips on how to enter into the industry and just be a better screenwriter. And please share this with other screenwriters and creators that you feel this could help as well, and I'll be back with more tips.
Period.
I'm like,
What?
okay. We'll cut this part out. Just be back, and I'll see you guys later. I'll do that again. I'll play to it. Okay, I'll do it again.
Now you have a video, like a blooper video.
Right, I know, because I play too much. Okay, let me stop playing. Okay, we rolling? Okay, 3, 2, 1.